I was 40 weeks pregnant, 40 plus 2. I had to go in for several checkups. And then all of a sudden they called a met call, emergency call on me, and the room was full of people and saying that I had to have an emergency cesarean. They rushed me down the corridor. They showed him to me for, I wouldn't even say it was a second. It was, here's your baby, and then they had to take him away. We knew that he had severe meconium aspiration. We knew that his lungs weren't working properly. So then the consultant said, I think we need to try ECMO. I'll never forget it, just them walking in, because there were so many of them. I had so much stuff. There was like very little movement of oxygen around his body, and they were doing it all mechanically outside of his body, and basically the ECMO that he needed gave his heart and lungs a rest. It did the work of his heart and lungs outside his body, and that's why they said it was so important that he had it, because I think his heart and lungs just needed a minute. They just needed a minute to recover, and they couldn't do that while he was trying to breathe himself. So
the severity of it didn't really hit me until Rosie spoke to me and said, we need to give him a name, and it was...
We didn't want to name him until we met him.
We hadn't even decided on a name.
We hadn't even met him, we just had to decide over the phone.
And we made the decision to call him Jack, all separated in different places.
When Jack got to Westmead, he was just transferred straight to the PICU, and he stayed on the ECMO there for 5 days. We were in Westmead for about 3 weeks, and the progress he made in that time was amazing.
And then what was it like bringing Jack home for the first time?
We brought him home on a little day pass from the hospital when he was like 9 weeks old. It was great. It was really great. He got to meet our dog for the first time, and we got to be parents without other people watching us. Literally, we'd never know how sick he was. We feel so lucky because so much went wrong, but we also have to be grateful for so much that went right.
Yeah. Like
the fact that our consultant in Canberra knew to call an ECMO team. He simply wouldn't be here today if they weren't running. If it wasn't a service, if it wasn't a thing, he simply would not be here if it didn't exist.
I've never seen such a professional, dedicated team. They were like angels that came in just to save our son. And they were right there when we needed them. I can't thank them enough.